Yo, what's up, y'all? Nightmare Baller 1. It's time with a video about my top 10 favorite pay-per-views of all time. Okay, this video doesn't necessarily mean these pay-per-views are the greatest pay-per-views of all time, but they are my favorites. So, let's get started. Starting at number 10, I have Bound for Glory 2006. Okay, Bound for Glory 2006, say what you will about TNA, but it is one of the best pay-per-views TNA has ever had. Every match from top to bottom was solid, except maybe the Eric Young and Larry Zbyszko match, but that was supposed to be funny. And, you know, it did its job quite well. So, you know, that's why I put that pay-per-view at number 10, because you look from the Monsters Ball all the way to the main event to the X Division title match. Every match on there was solid. There's nothing bad you can say about any of those other matches, except maybe the main event, because it was kind of slow, but that's about it. Alright, then number 9 is Respect the Zone. Okay, I put Respect the Zone right here because this is the second best way a company has ever debuted on pay-per-view. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. Like, every single match except one was like some of the best shit I've ever seen. Like, even the squash match was the best squash match I ever seen. That pay-per-view was amazing. Alright, then number 8, you got Unbreakable 2005. Unbreakable 2005 has the greatest match in the history of TNA, the triple threat, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels. Because that match, man, it's that when you talk about a 5-star match, that's what you think about, that match right there. And not only that match, the pay-per-view was solid. It had Sabu and Abyss and a brutal hardcore match with thumbtack spot and the table, and it had a good main event. Raven and well, a good second to last match, because the X Division title match was the main event. But with Raven and Rhino, the match is pretty good. Let's see. Number 7, you got Bound for Glory 2005. That pay-per-view was great. That to me is the best pay-per-view TNA has ever put on. Period. Like, you had Liger versus Joe, which is a dream match. Even though it wasn't, you know, that good, it still was good. Then you had an Ultimate X match that was pretty good. Then Monsters Ball 2, which is one of the greatest hardcore matches ever. Then you had I mean, TNA. Now, as much problems as TNA has had, they've had some great pay-per-views. Shit, I got 3 of them on this list, and you know that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, they had some great pay-per-views. I don't know what's going on with TNA now. But anyway, after that, have Living Dangerously 1999. Living Dangerously 1999 has my favorite match of all time. Maybe not the greatest match of all time, but my favorite match of all time. Sabu and Taz to unify the FTW and ECW titles. That match is great. And not only that match, it had RVD and Jerry Lynn for the TV title. In my opinion, the best match they ever had against each other. And in addition to that, they had who was it? Nova and Spike Dudley against the Dudley Boys. That match was good. The whole pay-per-view was good. It was really, really good. Alright, then number 5, I have Bash at the Beach, 1996. That pay-per-view, even though the pay-per-view as a whole wasn't that, you know, impressive, I shouldn't even have it this high now that I look at it, but it's this high for one reason. Hogan turned heel. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody can tell me with a straight face that they knew that Hogan was going to turn heel, or they're lying. Because that was just absolutely shocking. That was one of the most shocking things ever in the history of, you know, wrestling, ever. So yeah. Then I have Barely Legal, you know, ECW's first pay-per-view. The pay-per-view itself was like really, really good, but the thing that made it so special for me is that you know, I'm young, and I had been watching ECW, you know what I'm saying, as like a little kid. And when they came on, you know, when they came on pay-per-view, I think the pay-per-view was like, I think it was like $15. It might have been 20 something. I can't remember. It was cheap though, and I knew right there. I saved up my money in a piggy bank to order that pay-per-view. I gave it to my mom, and I was like, "Mom, I want to watch this." You know what I'm saying? And then she sat down and watched it with me. You know, she was a big WWE mark back in the day. You know, Undertaker and all that. God rest the soul. And she loved, you know what I'm saying, the WWE, and she watched that pay-per-view and she liked that pay-per-view. You know what I mean? She didn't know who anybody was except Shane Douglas and Rick Rude, but she liked that pay-per-view. So yeah. Then I got SummerSlam 2000. That's my favorite SummerSlam of all time. The main event was a triple threat. It was Triple H, Kurt Angle, and The Rock for the WWF title match. Was great. The first TLC match was great. Shane fell like 50, 60 feet off the SummerSlam set. The pay-per-view was great. I can't say enough about it. It was great. WrestleMania 17, in my opinion, the greatest WrestleMania of all time. I mean, this WrestleMania from top to bottom was just great match after great match after great match. It was awesome. It's definitely, you know, a great pay-per-view. They got Heat Wave 98 is number one. In my opinion, the greatest pay-per-view ever. That's my opinion. I mean, every single match was like just great. You had Masato Tanaka and Mike Austin. That match was great. You had Jinsei Senzaki and Hayabusa against RVD and Sabu. That match was great. It had like one of the greatest moments in ECW history when Taz and Bam Bam fell through the ring. And then you had the main event, the Dudleyville Street Fight with New Jack, who got ejected from the arena early on in the night, coming back out there, and he was supposed to have a match with Jack Victory. And Jack Victory came out there after the match after Tommy Dreamer got the pin. And then he came out and hit Tommy Dreamer with a guitar. And lo and behold, here comes New Jack and throws all these weapons in the ring. He messes up New Jack, messes up the Dudleys. And then they all three celebrate in like one of the best picture shots in wrestling history when they all was standing on the ladders. Great pay-per-view. Worthy number one. So yeah. I mean, the way I see it, a lot of people can debate me on this list. I'm welcome to it. I want people to, because I know, you know, this is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to debate me, that's fine. So, anyway, everybody take care of themselves. It was fun putting together this list. Anyway, y'all hit me up with anything, questions, comments, whatever. Nightmare Baller 1. Peace.